Hi everyone, I am Neha Jaswal, and today we will dive into one of the most powerful psychological theories used to explain the entrepreneurial behavior at individual level. And this theory is social cognitive theory. We also call it SCT. Whether you are a student, researcher, or aspiring entrepreneur, this video will help you to understand why people behave entrepreneurially and how their surrounding influence that journey. So before we get into SCT, let's quickly understand what individual entrepreneurial orientation means. IEO refers to a person's tendency to be innovative, proactive, and willing to take risk. It's like the personal version of entrepreneurial orientation, which is typically applied at firm level. But here's the question: where do these traits come from, and why do some individuals exhibit them more than others? And that's where these theories come into play, like SCT. So, why theoretical support is needed? In entrepreneurial research, we have seen many theories are essentials. They help us to go beyond describing behavior. Out of many theories like theory for planned behavior, human capital, and institutional theories, social cognitive theory stands out for understanding behavior at individual level. And let's see why. This theory was given by Albert Bandura in 1986. And social cognitive theory tells us that behavior is shaped by three forces which are working together. One is our personal factor, our behavior, and our environment. Bandura called these dynamic interplay as reciprocal determinism. So there are five key concepts in SCT, and in simple terms, I will break down this. One is self-efficacy, which means your belief that you can succeed at something. This is the backbone of the entrepreneurial confidence. And next is observational learning. Here you learn by watching others. Like if you take the example of one of your friend who has recently launched a startup which can inspire you. That is observational learning. Third is outcome expectations. You act when you believe and it leads to something positive. That is the outcome expectation. Next one is self-regulation, monitoring and adjusting one's behavior. We can say that you are adjusting your goal, like setting a deadline to build your MVP, like that. That is self-regulation. Last is agency, which is capacity to act intentionally. We also call it that you can influence your actions and your world. Agency basically allow individual to move from idea to action. These are the key concepts in social cognitive theory. And here is the visual. At one corner, you can see the personal factors. These are the personal factors which include knowledge, expectation, and attitude. In our example, we can say like motivation, belief, and confidence come under the personal factors. And then comes your behavior. In behavior, according to our example, I can say your actual action like your pitching or prototyping, that comes into your behavior. And third is environment. Environment, in our case, we can say your university, incubator, or mentors. All three influence each other continuously, and if you are in a supportive environment, it will boost your behavior and belief. It will if you believe in yourself, you will act, and that will change your environment. Now let's connect this to this theory to IEO. These are the three dimensions which we have studied in IEO, and we will connect these to SCT, how it's connected. Let's take the example of innovativeness. Your innovativeness is basically shaped by how much you are exposed to new ideas and believe that you can do something different. This is also explained in self belief and self efficacy. We are saying self belief, and in risk taking, it is linked to strong self efficacy and outcome belief. It depends upon whether you believe you can handle failures or not. And next one is proactiveness. It comes from the personal agency, that drive to act before others do. Okay, this is how we can connect the IEO traits and SCT. How we can say that why SCT is most relevant. Compared to other theories, SCT goes beyond static traits, or we can say institutional pressures. It captures the real life complexity, how we learn, how we grow and behave as entrepreneurs, especially in dynamic settings like colleges, incubators, or online platforms. Okay, here are some complementary theories. You can go through these theories. These are also relevant to IEO. So here's the takeaway. Social cognitive theory help us to understand how personal confidence, social learning, and environment interact to build the entrepreneurial behavior. And that's why it's one of the most powerful lens to study the individual entrepreneurial orientation. And these are the references. From these papers, you can see how they have used SCT to analyze the entrepreneurial behavior, like in this paper. And in next paper, we can see the entrepreneurial intention is formed through the observation and influence, not just the personal drive. And in next paper, they have extended basically social cognitive theory into the career decision making, and you can study all these papers to have deep insights for the social cognitive theory. And thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, then please don't miss the next deep dive into the entrepreneurial theories, and drop your question and thoughts in comments. And if you are a researcher, let me know what theory you would like me to cover next. Thanks a lot, everyone.